Of all the various crossovers, anime tie-ins, and original Musou franchises that Omega Force has developed over the years, none have quite caught my attention the same way as the Warriors Orochi series has. The concept of the coolest warriors from the Three Kingdoms period of China and the Warring States period of Japan coming together to fight mystical creatures, gods, and sometimes demons just sounded so silly that I couldn't resist trying them out. Little did I know that this series would bolster more characters, weapons, and over-the-top attacks than any other Musou game. 2 console generations, a few sequels, and a repackage later, and Warriors Orochi 4 is hot on our doorstep. So we have to ask, does it stand up to its predecessors? Today we're going to find out. As previously mentioned, this series is best known for its rather goofy and unrealistic storylines that always manages to top the previous one in terms of scale. The last game had both the heroes of the Three Kingdoms and Warring States periods respectively defeat the evil Serpent King Orochi and save the Mystic World, only to be transported back to their own worlds, having their memories of the events wiped in the process as not to affect the flow of time. This time, the gods of Olympus have plucked the heroes back into the mysterious world that merges bits and pieces of each other's world together. With the servants of Orochi appearing once again, the heroes set out to solve the mystery of why the gods have summoned them to this magical realm. In terms of quality, the story is pretty average. It was chock full of fan service and enjoyable moments, which kept it from being a grind. It manages to give everyone a little bit of screen time, and with 100 plus characters on the roster, that is quite an impressive feat. Warriors Orochi 4 is exactly equal to the recently reviewed Samurai Warrior Spirit of Sonata, seeing as how it runs on the exact same engine with no visual upgrades whatsoever. The frame rate stays at about 45 to 50 frames per second on average at an upscaled 4K resolution. It doesn't have any of the frame rate issues found in the launch version of Dynasty Warriors 9 either. The character models are also nice, and all of the new levels are easy on the eyes, and they also all have very vibrant color schemes. This iteration of the Orochi series is easily the widest variety of music. In addition to the remixes and songs from each of the Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors series, the original songs created for Warriors Orochi 4 are spectacular. A lot of the orchestration uses the heavy-hitting piano chords found in something like Kingdom Hearts, and that's an easy way to win me over. Most of the sound effects and noise cues are taken right out of other Musou games. There's nothing great, but nothing to complain about either. As with most Musou games, the combat is a fairly simple hack and slash with various combos and extenders being unlocked as you play through the story. Orochi 4 adds an interesting magic system as well. In addition to your Musou, or special attack meter, the magic meter is a second bar you have to manage, which allows you to combat new enemy types which only can be damaged by magic attacks. It makes the combat a little bit more dynamic as you have to manage what attacks are for what enemies. Also in this game, you can instantly summon your horse so you don't have to deal with the awkward pathfinding AIs with the last games that made you have to call your horse and wait for it to find you. It's actually quite a nice improvement and helps traversing around the map a lot smoother. If every Musou game had as much content as this game does, there wouldn't be half as many complaints against this series by the fan. Warriors Orochi 4 has the largest roster in the entire history of any Musou game to date, as well as a huge array of stages. One complaint is that 90% of the stages are combined stages from previous games, and it reuses a good bit of content from previous games in the series. However, it's not a huge issue. Between the story mode, which takes about 20 hours with another 2 or 3 side missions, there's a lot of replayability, with bonus objectives and extra difficulties added into the post-game. On top of this, there's a 3v3 PvP mode, which you can play online that reminds me a lot of the Versus game mode from Dynasty Warriors 3. It had some netcode issues early on in my playthrough, but on the second day I went back, they were patched, so it won't be a problem for the launch. As a fan of Musou games, it would be impossible for me not to recommend this game to people who might be curious about the series or veterans looking for their next button-mashing fix. While more than half of the stages are listed from the games they were originally from, a fun story, great music, and enjoyable frantic combat makes Warriors Orochi 4 a must-have for any fan of these characters or the franchises. And that does it for our review of Warriors Orochi 4. To read the written review, be sure to check out our website, gaminggamma.com. A link will be provided down in the description bar below. If you have any questions for me about the game or the review, by all means leave them down in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you. And if you're new to my channel, finding me out for the first time through this review, hey, be sure to subscribe for future reviews, commentaries, let's plays, and more. And as always everyone, thanks for watching.